likes to say, our county leader Simberg likes to say, we're electing more and more Democrats in Madison County. That's a good record to run on. And you know, I've had the privilege to work with two of the finest people whose public service you have made possible. And I know they wanted to be here tonight. And they're working very hard, a very, very tough time in the state capitol. But I just want to speak to you a moment about Dave Valesky and Bill McGee. Now, many of you probably know them longer and better than I do. But I've had the chance to work with them up close, not here in their home community, but in Albany. And, you know, we're going through a very tough time, and I'll talk about that in a moment in terms of our state finances and just too much that's not working out as well as it should in our state. And, you know, the real frustration that I have, especially because I see what's going on up close, is that there are so many good men and women who are there for the right reasons, who are laboring under very difficult circumstances, who are looking out for their community's best interests. And sometimes there's a tendency, you know, to paint everybody with the same brush. And people say, oh, you know, things aren't working, you gotta throw everybody out. You know, you're starting to hear that. I actually don't think at the end of the day, that's what it's gonna be all about. Because I think New Yorkers are more sophisticated than that. And they understand that even if you're frustrated with the economy and you're frustrated that the budget may be late, when they really look at who is attempting to provide leadership, who are the people that bring integrity to the table, who are the people that are involved in their community, who are the people that are not afraid to speak out and to make a difference. They know who the good ones are and who the not so good ones are. And for Madison County, to say that you're represented in the State Senate by Dave Valesky, in the State Assembly by Bill McGee, you can't get two finer people working for you and looking out for your interests. They are among the best that we have in the state capitol, and don't let anybody say otherwise. You know, Dave is working hard. The Senate's a tough place. It's a razor-thin majority. You've got tremendous political pressure because the Republicans don't want to help on anything. You have a very diverse Democratic majority that's new to being a majority. Remember last year they weren't the majority for a while because the Republicans had two people switch for a little while. One of them's not there anymore. The other one's got problems. It's a tough situation. But Dave Valesky, from the moment you elected him, even before he was in the majority, was about reform and was about change. And he continues to be about reform. He continues to be about change. Don't let anybody label him in any other way. He's an outstanding person. He's part of what's making the Senate better. We need to elect more Democrats so Dave can have even greater influence in the Senate. You got to be there to fight hard for Dave. It's going to be a tough election this year, but he's won tough elections before. He's going to win it again this year with your help. I'm not just saying that because Julie and his folks are here. We said that anyway. And I'm not going to say nice things about Bill McGee just because Jeanette's here. Now, Bill I know for a very long time. I was elected to the Assembly before Bill got there. And when Bill first arrived there, and it was victory in Madison County and Bill McGee, and we don't have too many people in our conference that know how to speak to the interests of rural New York and who can be an articulate spokesperson on behalf of the agriculture industry, and we didn't have anybody that knew how to manage an auction, that's for sure. So Bill McGee comes in, and I got to tell you, from the first time I met Bill, he has stayed true and solid and the same. He's first of all a straight shooter. Bill tells it like it is in terms of how he feels. And when we would have our caucus meetings, and we have a big group of Democrats in the state assembly, and most of the members are not from Madison County, let's put it that way. Bill would never be afraid to raise his hand and stand up and say, I understand what you may be saying that works for your community in New York City or your community on Long Island or other parts of the state, but this is what I need that will work for my constituency in Madison County, my constituency in central New York. And Bill has earned such incredible respect because he's a person of integrity, and he's a person who's not afraid to bring a different point of view so that the interests of all the counties are represented in our Democratic majority. When he became chair of the Agriculture Committee, it was such an important leadership appointment for him to receive. And I know how seriously he took it. I remember we worked together when he chaired the subcommittee on volunteer firefighters and emergency services. He did a great job with that subcommittee. I was chairing local governments at the time. And when he became chair of agriculture, he just really blossomed as a leader in the assembly. He also started wearing those cow ties on a regular basis. You know, you've seen, right? Jeanette, where does he get all those cow ties? There's always a different pattern. But especially now, with all the challenges that we have with our economy, reminding people that agriculture is such a key part of the New York economy, reminding everyone in New York that, especially for the dairy farmers, so many of whom are still family-run businesses, not the big businesses that you have in other parts of the country with dairy farming. Bill's voice is such an important voice in the debates that are going on in the state capitol. And Bill is a guy who just feels it deep inside. He loves this community, and he's proud when he goes to Albany to talk about you and to talk about your needs. And he's been part of a majority where, because he's earned the respect, Bill McGee is someone who's able to deliver for you. And this November, he told me the other day he's got 3 or 4 people running against him. It's all of a sudden, you know, it's a lot of people are interested. But you know what? The more the merrier, because Bill McGee stands tall, and Bill McGee's going to get his biggest victory ever this year, isn't he? And you're going to make sure